What's up, my neighbors? Welcome to a brand new video. Today we are talking about how everything got a million times worse. So it all started a couple of days ago when a individual woman by the name of Shiloh Hendrix used a racial slur. She did. She called a black kid the N-word, which is a rude thing to do. Now, in context, the black kid was stealing from her, and this was being filmed by a registered pedophile, and she called him the N-word, which, I mean, listen, personally, I don't think it's nice to call people racial slurs. And the entire internet freaked out. They started harassing her. They started threatening her life. She made a fundraiser, and she raised $500,000. Now, the reason why I'm giving you this context is because, for the record, Karmelo Anthony, a black guy, killed a white kid and raised $500,000 from supporters. The media was silent. No one had anything to say. Okay, classic move. It happens. Taking down white oppression. The white people, they're getting oppressed. And that's based and stuff. Shiloh Hendrix used a slur, which is words, by the way, not violence, but words. Again, I don't think it's a nice thing to do, but it's words. She also raised $500,000. The media is losing their absolute mind. There is a racism problem in America. America's in trouble. America's cooked. Here's what Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, known for marrying her brother, had to say about this, the issue in America in regards to racism.
I would say our country should be more fearful.
More fearful
of white men.
Of white men! That's the problem!
Our country.
Agreed,
because they
true.
are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
White men are causing most of the deaths within this country. I mean, that's probably because there are more white men. I don't know, man. No one show her the fucking statistics. You know, 13% of wizards are casting 50% of the black magic. Okay, listen, I don't want to. What the fuck does that even mean?
We should be profiling, monitoring, and creating policies to fight the radicalization of white men.
So she directly wants an apartheid United States, where there are radical policing, monitoring policies introduced in the government on a governmental level, specifically to target white people. What? What are we even talking about? The fact that this lady over here is an actual congresswoman is mind-boggling. She should absolutely go back to Somalia, where everyone is treated so much better there. This is mind-blowing to me, and it is so frustrating that to see someone try to literally institutionalize racism into the country, and realistically, people aren't even really calling her out for this for some reason, even though I think this might be one of the biggest threats to basic anything I've ever seen in my life. She makes Trump look like he's anti-racist, for the record. Now, people are not taking this Shiloh Hendrix situation very well. Now, I made a video yesterday, or 2 days ago, rather, but it was uploaded yesterday. As you can see here, white privilege is officially 100% over. So, on this video, I got obviously a lot of hate. You know, this went through the Twitterverse. All people on Twitter, I can't believe Nux is racist now. I'm sure they didn't watch the video, but even if they did, I don't really care. It's Twitter. They call you a pedophile if they don't like you on Twitter. It's just kind of the way things go these days. I've come to know that the more people criticize me for things, the more I realize I'm actually doing the right thing. Since uploading this video, there have been so many developments that I've become more radicalized, for real. I should never admit that. I have. I've absolutely become more radicalized for sure. Absolutely. We're definitely going to be cooking harder. If you thought the last video was cancel worthy, you ain't seen nothing yet. So, for the record, this is some of the backlash that has been coming to the white girl, Shiloh Hendrix, for saying a slur. Which, by the way, let me reiterate, not a nice thing to do. All right? This was some of the backlash.
That lady, Shiloh Hendrix, whatever the fuck her name is, done called that little boy a nigga and gonna sit up here and make a GoFundMe to play victim. Girl, ain't nobody harass you, call you out your names, and give you racial slurs.
I love how he's saying, ain't nobody harassed you. Ain't nobody harassed you, aside from all of us that are sending you death threats. Ain't nobody harassed you. All right, dude.
That's crazy to me. And have the audacity to start a GoFundMe. It's gone now.
Look how unbelievable these people are. It's like, I did not see any pushback when there was a GoFundMe for Karmelo Anthony, the black guy that stabbed a white kid for no reason, stabbed a kid in the heart. A white guy was killed, murdered, stabbed in the heart for literally no reason. Dead, from my perspective, literally dead, murdered somebody. This is like, it's mind-boggling to even compare these two cases, because I feel like there is zero possible comparison between these two cases. Words are not violence. It was not nice for sure. Absolutely not a nice thing to do. But like, how could you even remotely equate this? So when you have people that were going out on a limb supporting a black guy for murdering a white guy, and you're out here crashing out over a white lady after getting robbed, calling a black guy the N-word, I feel like not only are your priorities askew, but it will radicalize America. Absolutely. And it's working. It worked on me. It worked on me after I saw the death threats and shit being sent. Just let me finish this video.
Thank God people reported it, because people like her, they deserve a bullet.
Yeah, so if you're gonna say people like her deserve a bullet and post that on social media, in my opinion, that is an incitement to violence. And unlike saying the N-word, that is not protected by freedom of speech. It is absolutely mind-boggling to me that these people feel like that what this guy did, in my opinion, is worse than what she did. You don't say inciting violence on people is absolutely worse than saying a racial slur. Again, not a nice thing to do, but like, I don't even know how you could possibly compare these two things, let alone Karmelo Anthony, the dude that stabbed someone. Or I'll give you another instance, Luigi Mangione. Everyone remembers him. He's the guy that shot the healthcare CEO, absolutely, allegedly murdered the healthcare CEO in broad daylight. He became a fucking hero of the Democratic Party, hero of the left. I'm sorry. I am sorry, bro. How are you gonna have a fundraiser for killers constantly, supported vastly by the majority of left-leaning people, or at least the activist ones on Twitter, and make believe that this somehow is worse on a whole than any of that shit? I'm not gonna lie, it's very troubling to see how violence is more and more accepted and embraced by the left, and how their double standards keep getting worse and worse. And the fact that the media outrage is all focused on someone who, after getting robbed, said the N-word, and not literally the outpouring deluge of death threats against her, where they doxed her, they posted her social media, her social security number, her telephone number. They posted all of her information online. They harassed her, they threatened her. None of that was picked up. Instead, it's all picked up that everyone on the right wing is racist because they're supporting someone who said the N-word. Which, again, I personally did not donate money and wouldn't donate money because I have much better uses for my money. However, from an outside perspective looking at this, here's another classic bullshit example. Trump posts an AI image of himself dressed as the Pope. Everyone, oh my God, I can't believe Trump is disrespecting Christianity. They do this. This is supposed to be Jesus, by the way, at this weird fucking orgy thing in France. And yep, that was accepted by the media. Hell yeah, LGBT orgies for Jesus? Yes, sir. That's cool and based. That's not disrespecting Christianity. Trump posted an AI image. Oh my God. Oh my God. So currently, one of the major targets of this entire campaign is Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is a Daily Wire guy that made a video talking about this, that everyone told me I needed to react to this. I need to react to this Matt Walsh video, and we're about to do that. But Matt Walsh essentially said, I don't know, I didn't watch the video yet, but people are sick of the racial double standards. They're fed up, and it's that simple. And he is, in fact, correct. He's completely right about this. Of course, social media doesn't like this idea. Currently, they are blasting him to hell and back. They're blasting him to hell and back, bro. Attacking this man because he's such a racist. He's supporting a lady that said the N-word, and he's racist and evil. And it doesn't. The right is officially supporting calling a black child the N-word. Like, first of all, one of the most wild misrepresentations of the situation. No one is supporting calling a black child the N-word. People are supporting tearing down this white guilt bullshit double standard garbage. So, anywho, I thought it was important to put all this into perspective before we actually see Matt Walsh's video that has Twitter literally on fire. Everyone on Twitter is losing their shit, freaking out. I cannot believe that Matt Walsh is supporting saying the N-word. So anyway, I'm excited to lock in and see this. Apparently this is a very controversial video. And apparently that, what can I say? I think it's a really interesting state as it stands right now in America, because in America, for some crazy reason, all 7 swing states recognize that these people are retarded. All right, let's see what's going on.
Saying the N-word to a child in a moment of anger is bad. Is it so bad that it warrants the total and permanent destruction of a person's life?
Absolutely not! Unlike murdering someone.
Now, to the social media mob, the answer is always yes.
I mean, yeah, that's welcome to social media. Yep, that's the social media mob. That's them. Hell yeah! These people, the moral arbiters of justice. Oh my God.
By now, you may have heard the name Shiloh Hendrix.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna keep covering this story as things unfold, because the current deluge of death threats and hate towards her. Obviously, if you don't like her, I think that's valid. I don't think she's a very nice person. Personally. That said, as far as the movement goes and the public discussion goes, fuck yeah, it is beyond time to have this conversation.
Until last week, no one outside of her friends and personal acquaintances knew she existed. Now she's at the center of one of the more intense social media controversies that we've seen in recent years. And it all began in the late afternoon on April 28th, when the woman we now know as Shiloh Hendrix took her young child to a park in Rochester, Minnesota.
Yep, we covered this. Oh my God, dude.
And at some point, a black child, reportedly 5 years old, tried to steal something from her diaper bag. Shiloh apparently responded in anger, and as the story goes, she called the boy the N-word. Now, a man named Sharmaki Omar,
the left's new hero. The left's new hero, a Somalian immigrant pedophile that was filming all of this. Woo!
Somali immigrant and not the boy's father, allegedly witnessed this altercation and decided to pull out his phone. And the resulting video has gone extremely viral across every major social media platform. Here it is.
You call him a child?
Dude, I love how this guy says the N-word like 5 times, asking her if she said the N-word. Like, dude, I don't know, man. I really feel like it's crazy, bro. It's wild.
Did you call the child the N-word? It is my own business. You call him a
Okay, got him, destroyed, Joan of Park.
Why don't you have the balls to say it right now again?
Damn, doubling down.
Okay.
I think people like the fact that she doubled down, to be honest. It's like, I'll be real, I'll be honest. It's the fact that she actually doubled down. It destroyed cancel culture. Cancel culture is in cinders. Just don't apologize for anything, and you survive on the internet right now. God damn.
All right, that's what you say.
You don't go digging through people's shit, you dumb.
Nobody digging through your shit.
A little kid just did, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him a
Yeah.
The little child?
What, he acts like one.
Are you about to hear him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call a child 5-year-old and the N-word.
Hold on. So the reason why the news says that it's a 5-year-old is because this one random Somali pedophile said that the kid is 5. There's no way. That's crazy.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech.
You did a hate speech! Well, actually, she didn't, because she's in a little lovely place called America! Let's go! Again, I just want to make this clear. I don't, in fact, support calling random people racial slurs. I think it's not a nice thing to do. But hate speech doesn't exist in America, goddammit!
And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a
You could be recorded for that.
Huh.
Oh, maybe we should trust his experience that this kid is 5 years old because he has an experience with children? I did not think of it that way. You make very good points. This guy actually, he is a pro in certain areas. We gotta recognize him for that.
Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
Now, before we
and the internet gave her $500,000. Whoops.
continue with the story, which takes several more twists and turns, we should note a few things. First of all, we don't actually know for sure that the boy is 5 years old. That's coming from the man filming, who is apparently not related to the child. In the video, we appear to get a glimpse of the kid, and from the glimpse anyway, he
it doesn't look
definitely
5.
looks old.
Probably looks more like 10.
Older than 5. Omar has additionally claimed that the boy is autistic, which we also have no proof of. And
I cannot believe you would say the N-word to an autistic, retarded child in a wheelchair, minding his own business. How could you do this?
We have no footage of the actual encounter between the kid and this woman. Did she scream the N-word in his face? Did she mutter it under her breath? Did she say it about the child after he'd already run away? We don't know. And as far as I've seen, we haven't heard anything from the boy's parents. We don't know where they were in all of this, if they were even there.
I mean, good for the boy's parents, to be honest. They shouldn't get their kid involved in some social media race war shitstorm. Like, the kid was trying to steal from her, all right? They should bitch slap the fuck out of their kid. What the hell, man? If I, as a kid, would have tried to rob a lady in a park, my parents would have killed me. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I'll be real, I wouldn't have even thought about it. I would not have even considered robbing somebody as a 10-year-old. Like, that kid's background was fucked up. Whatever happened.
Which is very strange. So there are many aspects of this story that are bizarre and unconfirmed. And here's another disturbing detail. The Somali man behind the camera, Omar, was charged a couple of years ago with sexually assaulting a minor.
Like, it's unbelievable how many layers this story has. So you have a pedophile hanging out in a park, virtue signaling about someone else saying the N-word. Like, you can't even make this shit up. Like, this is too, it's too insane to be real.
And according to the local news channel KTTC, those charges were dismissed. A separate report by the local ABC affiliate adds that the charges were dismissed, quote, in the interest of justice, whatever the hell that means.
Oh my God. You've got to be shitting me. Bro, there is no way. Oh my God. Dude. That's crazy. In the interest of justice. I have a feeling that means that they're trying to hide the crimes of immigrants because for some reason, people are doing that now in America and in England and in Germany and in many other places where they want to make believe that that everyone should be going to El Salvador to go and fight for the rights of terrorists. Oh my God.
But whatever it means, now Omar, who was previously charged with sexually assaulting a minor, is at a playground with his camera out filming. So make of all of that what you will. So,
yeah, I will make of that what I will. Yep, 100%. Hell yeah, dude.
There are quite a few details that still need to be filled in here, but the saga continues anyway. What happened next is quite predictable. The social media mob went to work. They set out to identify this, at the time, anonymous woman and ruin her life, or worse.
That's what they do.
Here's one of the guys who got things kicked off. Watch.
All right.
God help us. She claims that other child took her son's belongings. That's what kicked this off.
Okay.
The guy who recorded the video is familiar with the other child.
No. That was not proven. He was just there. He was just a random guy charged for being sexually assaulting a minor that was hanging out in a park.
He brings his children there. That child and his siblings are often there.
And is that true? Is he making this up? Did he literally invent this backstory?
And play together. The kid she's going after has autism.
How does he know this? And also, she didn't go after him. She popped off because he tried to steal her things. What are you talking about? Is the white savior really here to protect people? Like, what is going on? Oh my God. Budget Jack Black trying to convince us of fake facts, I guess.
He doesn't behave in a neurotypical way, and even if he did...
Why do you know that? Why was the autistic child trying to steal her shit?
Have autism. Nothing he could have done would justify her calling him slurs and pursuing him physically.
Was there any evidence of her pursuing him physically? This is crazy! How do you make a video like this? He's on the right side of the liberal perspective. He's in the right little fucking echo chamber in the liberal hive mind, so therefore you could just make up reality and fan fictions?
Which is what she says she was doing before this guy intervened. He said after he stopped recording, she sat down, hurled more slurs, told him and
maybe
his wife that they should leave the country.
I mean, if he's a pedophile, I agree with that, actually.
And then got on the phone and acted like she was calling someone to come down there and handle things. Fortunately, no one came, and eventually she packed up her child and left. But this woman is a danger to children.
What? I wonder if this guy made a video calling out Karmelo Anthony for stabbing someone in the heart. Like, this is mind-boggling. I wanna just be real here for a second. Something else that's important to note. Everyone's favorite terrorist sympathizer on Twitch, Hamas Piker, known for his leftist ideology and being so based and cool in many ways. So he said that Karmelo Anthony's case was likely self-defense. I just wanted to let you know this. He said Karmelo Anthony was likely self-defense, and he supports Luigi Mangione. 2 cases where you have these massive fundraisers for murderers, allegedly. Obviously, everyone's against her because she said the N-word.
She doesn't need to be on a playground or around other kids.
She's raising her child.
And she has at least one child of her own, which is also concerning. So Rochester, Minnesota, someone do me a favor. Take a close look at her tattoos.
Are you fucking kidding me? They're trying to get her child taken away from her because she had a, albeit not very nice, pop-off moment in the park? Like, are we fucking crazy? These people doxed the dad of the white kid that was stabbed by Karmelo Anthony. They doxed Austin Metcalf's dad and harassed him. What?
You can see her face clearly. Someone please tell me who she is.
Holy shit, cancel culture going crazy. I'm honestly, the thing is, while I don't think that Shiloh Hendrix calling that kid the N-word is a nice thing to do, in a weird way, I'm kind of happy that it happened. Just from my perspective as a content creator, laughing at the chaos on the internet, this is insane. It is insane to see this despicable, gross double standard.
Okay, so she's a danger to children. She shouldn't be allowed at playgrounds. She shouldn't be allowed at playgrounds, not the guy that was charged with sexually assaulting a minor.
True.
But he says, please, internet, find her, and countless others joined in. And in some cases, they were calling for the woman to be imprisoned for saying a bad word.
All the freedom of speech guys, everyone out there, I cannot believe Trump is deporting terrorists for freedom of speech. Because according to them, everything is freedom of speech if they like it. But they want to imprison people for saying words.
Watch.
Share. I'm trying to find the woman who called the little boy the N-word, the 5-year-old little boy, artistic boy.
5-year-old little autistic boy in the wheelchair. He's retarded. He has cancer. His parents are both dead. He's in an orphanage. He was just wandering around. The orphanage wasn't even nice to him. I can't believe that. You know, he didn't eat for like 26 hours at that point. He was starving, just looking for some food. Robbing that white lady, just looking for some food. She deserved it. She had slaves. It's true. I've seen them. God nerfed bro 5 times. Like, what are we talking about?
She needs to be found and locked up.
For saying a word? For saying a word, bro?
So please, tap in.
Now, there are many other videos of people hoping that she would be found and physically assaulted or killed. Some were even...
I mean, I just showed you one saying that she deserved the bullet. Like, the backlash is crazy, and it's... The wildest part is, I've seen more vitriolic backlash for this lady saying the N-word than for Austin Metcalf getting murdered by Karmelo Anthony.
Threatening violence against her baby that you can see in the video. Here's one example.
What?
He said, hey, TikTok, I just got a real quick question. So we all know what happened with Shiloh Hendrix and how she got all this money, right?
Yeah, the money that she got was not because people necessarily even supported her saying the N-word. I think that the money that she got was literally to make a statement that the double standard in society has to end. It has to be over with. That for whatever reason, if you're from a specific minority group, you could get away with murder. Literally. But if you're a white guy, you need to sit there and wilt and melt in your little pool of white guilt, crying and lacerating your flesh to atone for the sins of your great-great-grandparents. Like, Dude, it's not about the money, it's about the message. It's not even about Shiloh Hendrix individually as a person. It's about the social media war that's happening right now.
Off for all the wrong reasons. But you know what? It is what it is at this point, right? So I'm just sitting here thinking, what about the baby?
What do you mean, what about the baby?
What about the baby?
What?
Because technically, that baby is gonna grow up and be part of the Triple K.
What the fuck am I watching right now? He wants them to kill the baby? Because the baby's gonna grow up to be, What the fuck?
Baby might grow up to be Hitler. That baby...
It's baby Hitler because his mom said the N-word when he was robbed? What are we even what are we even saying?
He's gonna grow up and probably be the worst of the worst out there in the world. And you know what? I don't want that baby policing children that look like me.
Policing children that look like me. Holy fucking shit, man.
I don't want that baby growing up doing anything else to people that look like me, all because it was taught that. But since, unfortunately, CPS is not going to be able to do nothing, what should we do? I think you guys should let me know in the comments, because part of my thinking was, start a GoFundMe, you know, raise about $1 million, go slap the hell out that baby.
Dude just said the quiet part out loud. He's like, we need to treat the baby like baby Hitler and incites violence to go assault a 2-year-old child. Yeah, he won't grow up racist that way. Yeah, let's beat up random white kids so they don't grow up racist. That'll fucking help. Woo! Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Make that baby brainless or something for a while.
This isn't even... I don't even know what to say.
He should still get to live. I mean, it just might be you know? But hey, that's what happens when you grow up with racist-ass parents.
What the fuck?
You gotta eat their consequences.
What the actual fuck did I just watch? This guy has to be retarded. What are we even talking about?
Now, I would say...
I don't even know what to say. I feel like that guy, that one TikTok is infinitely worse than the lady calling the black kid the N-word. Not even close. Not even close. Not just is this like a sub 50 IQ guy that's gonna get his entire movement to look even dumber than it already is. But without even a doubt, this is incitement of violence against a baby. Like, actual incitement of violence against a baby. And if this is a mentality that other people have, all those people need to get looked into. I don't know, maybe Ilhan Omar, maybe you should look into that shit. Oh my God, what an unbelievable clown. I have never seen something like this before in my life. This guy is infinitely worse than Shiloh Hendrix. Not even close. Holy fuck.
You gotta eat their consequences.
Now, I would say that encouraging people to beat a baby unconscious is worse than saying a bad word to a child. A lot worse.
True.
And yet, there's no mob forming against that guy.
Obviously, there is no mob forming against that guy. That's not the point. That's not the point.
Or the dozens of other people who hit like on that video. So this is all unfolded as you would expect up to this point, leading to the predictable news that the Rochester Police Department is now actively investigating the woman.
What investigation is there? She didn't commit a crime. Again, I agree it was not a nice thing to do. I wouldn't do it. I would tell people not to do it, because in general, hurling slurs at people is not very nice. Listen, I am a man of God. I believe in being good to people and stuff, but like, this is retarded.
And others began calling for CPS to get involved and remove her child from the home. For example, there's a guy we'll put up on the screen who wrote a letter to CPS, which he published on his website, claiming again that Shiloh's a danger to her own child, and that
if there's no evidence to that. There's no evidence that she's a danger to her own child. I don't understand why this is okay.
Child should be taken out of the home.
Like, they want to ruin this child's whole life because the mom popped off when she was getting robbed. Like, this is crazy.
And pretty soon, with thousands upon thousands of people whipped into a pitchfork mob, she had been identified by name, but not just her name. Her phone number was posted all over the internet, her address, her social security number, her alleged places of employment. People were calling her phone and making death threats and then bragging about it openly.
Crazy.
Again,
that's insane.
So far this story is following the script that we all know by heart. A random person is caught on camera doing something rude or offensive. The video is posted by some third party, usually somebody who wasn't even involved in the incident. And then thousands of sociopaths set out to destroy the person's life and possibly get them killed, all for sport, as a form of like sadistic entertainment.
I don't know if it's sadistic entertainment. I think it's no morals. I think it's a culture of, for some reason, people do not have morals. They feel like it is justified because they're personally offended. Damn, thanks for putting me on the front page. I'm definitely making content that'll make Kick proud right now. Thank you, bro. Oh, God. But these are definitely people with no morals that are just stirring up a mob to do something unbelievably disgusting. I think partially it might be entertainment. Partially it might be an entertainment thing. I think some of it is like some sort of disgusting, warped, perverted justice. And personally, I think that there is this very weird social upbringing that goes on in America that loves the victimhood mentality. They love it. It's like a neo-Marxist perspective on the world, that everything in the world needs to be divided between oppressed and oppressor. If you are on the oppressed side, then you are the good guy. If you are on the oppressor side, then you are the bad guy. And for some reason, in America, especially on the far left and in like retard circles, they're like, if you are white, you are automatically an oppressor. If you are black, you are automatically oppressed. If you are oppressed, everything you do is automatically justified. And people don't want to live in a world where shit that stupid actually flies. So realistically, unfortunately, as much as people don't like to say it, I'm definitely entertained watching this competitive racist race war that's going on right now. Oh, God. I firmly believe that every single person donating to Shiloh Hendrix, this is the consequences of the radical people on the other side. It is purely their fault. It's not that everyone is racist. It's that everyone wants this bullshit to stop. The white guilt, the white privilege, the inequality, making believe it's equality. People don't want to live in a false reality where, for some reason, they have less rights than everybody else.
Nobody stops to think about the consequences. There's no consideration of proportionality. Saying the N-word to a child in a moment of anger is bad. Is it so bad that it warrants the total and permanent destruction of a person's life? Is it so bad that they deserve to have their physical safety and the safety of their family put in jeopardy?
Nah, dude.
Is it so bad that
insane.
they deserve to have their child assaulted? Is it that kind of bad? Now, to the social media mob, the answer is always yes.
Well, because they're radical lunatics. Like the same way, people on Twitter, they'll call me a pedophile for whatever, no reason, to be honest. They'll just drop that out there with no evidence to anything. Obviously, I never did anything like that. But they'll just drop that shit out there because, hey, I don't like that guy. That guy thinks Trump is pretty good, so I'm going to call him a pedophile now. Proportionality. Dude, these people are fucking evil brainlets. And we have to stop taking people on social media seriously, and simultaneously, we have to curb this culture. And listen, I've always been on the counterculture mob, and I am still on that side. The culture needs to die.
Yes, that is, provided that the offending stranger fits certain parameters. And the most important parameter is that the person, the offender, is white. And we all know how this script ends. The offender, in a desperate attempt to call off the dogs, tearfully apologizes and begs for mercy, a mercy that they surely will not receive.
Yeah, that's why apologizing for stuff like this, unfortunately, in a just world, if you do something rude, you should apologize for it. But we don't live in a just world. We live in a world with a lot of retards in it. And that is why, unless you're absolutely certain you did something wrong and you truly regret it and were planning on changing your ways, you should not apologize. If she would have apologized, the story would be over. Everyone would call her a racist forever. No one would ever forgive her because forgiveness does not exist online. Nah, dude. They're out for blood. They're out for blood. So you gotta double down. Unfortunately, I don't think it's healthy or a good thing, but, I mean, it's how you fight this despicable war.
But that is where the M. Night Shyamalan twist ending comes into play.
Oh my God!
Because Shiloh Hendrix did not apologize.
God damn! I'm telling you, this is literally how you win. The way you win is just doubling down every time. It goes against every possible virtue, and you know what? It works. It works! Enough of this! Stop! Stop with the harassment. You are every single person harassing her right now and doxing her. Every single one of them is worse than she is. And that is the truth.
Instead, she posted a crowdfunding campaign on GiveSendGo where she doubled down and defended her actions and asked for help to relocate and get her family to safety.
I mean, think about it. If she apologizes, they'll still call her a racist. If she doesn't apologize, well, then they're going to call her a racist. But she makes $500,000. And she kills cancel culture, which is based. She kills cancel culture. It is. I really feel like society is evolving.
And then a double twist. A different group formed to counter the outrage mob. They started donating to her campaign, and she surpassed her original funding goal in less than a day. Within 3 days, she had earned over $500,000. Now she's somewhere north of $600,000.
God damn!
So the woman who was supposed to have her life ruined by the mob is instead on her way to potentially becoming a millionaire. Now, this twist, as you can imagine, has outraged the outrage mob even more, but a large number of prominent people on the right are also horrified by this turn of events. Just as one example, Colin Wright tweeted, "The woke right is now mirroring the woke left's tendency to glorify and martyr immoral degenerates solely based on shared racial identity."
This is such an amazing story. I love content. Thank you, God, for this content. Thank you, God, for the N-word. Okay, that sounded wrong. But you know what I'm saying. Dude, this is crazy.
This woke one-upmanship is a race to the very bottom.
Reciprocal violence.
Many conservative influencers and commentators.
It's a reciprocal tariff. I love the word reciprocal. Oh, my God.
Commentators, many of them who I like and respect, have echoed this sentiment. They say,
I just want to make this clear, by the way. If you have a different perspective than me on things, I don't mind at all. You have every right to disagree with me on literally anything. And again, I think that it is bad that she called the kid the N-word. I do think that is a bad thing to do. Because in general, I don't think you should just be calling racial slurs to people. It's pretty rude. That said and done, incredibly hot take. All of the fucking retards trying to cancel her, every single one individually that harassed her, sent death threats, incited violence, doxed her, showed up at her house, called her phone, those people were all worse. All of those people, worse.
Say that, the people donating to this woman are behaving no better than the left. They say that this is the right's version of the Karmelo Anthony fundraiser. It
is not even remotely similar to the Karmelo Anthony fundraiser. The Karmelo Anthony fundraiser was fundraising for a guy that murdered someone. It is not even remotely similar. And also, important to note, that one happened first. Like, I think the genesis is it's so valuable as far as part of the conversation goes. Like, you gotta realize that so much of this is, it's retaliatory in a sense. People don't like the fact that people feel like they're living in a two-tier system in America. They don't. They don't like it. All right, they don't. That's why DEI was so cringe. I was doing my Uncle Ruckus cosplay there for a second.
Also raised $500,000, even though he stabbed somebody to death, which I hope we can agree is far, far worse than saying a bad word. Some have even speculated that this whole thing is some kind of psyop meant to delegitimize the movement and make
I don't think so.
Conservatives look racist.
There's retaliatory raises. What the fuck is happening? Oh, God, so entertaining. Holy shit. It's awful and hilarious at the same time.
To that, I must assure them, despite
that neighbor is guilty,
how it may seem, that not everything is a psyop. There are things that really just happen in life.
True.
Some things do just happen, and I think this is one of them. Now, I understand that some people on my side feel, to put it scientifically, icky about this whole thing.
Well, I mean, I think anyone supporting her saying the N-word is a retard. But I do think that the people kind of liking the fact that there is pushback to the cancel mob, racial double standard bullshit, I respect that immensely.
I understand why they feel
Uncle Nuxus, no relation.
Feel icky. I understand why they don't want to condone saying racial slurs to children. I don't want to condone it either.
True.
And I don't. And nobody really does.
True. I don't even say the fuck word.
I think they're missing the point. In the past, most people enjoyed genuine privacy. What changed?
What
Use
changed?
the code actually
Ilhan Omar happened.
/ Matt Walsh show.
All right.
You know, I don't think they understand what's actually happening here or why. It is, in the end, a net positive that this woman has raised $500,000.
Wow, that's a crazy take. That's a wild take. I mean, to be honest, she probably does need the money at this point. There are people harassing her, doxing her. She's probably gonna have to move. To be honest, she probably will have to move. So I do think that this is crazy. God damn.
I'm glad she has. I hope she raises $1 million.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Lord, that's crazy. Oh man, this is just so. This is S tier entertainment. What? Everyone told me I should go watch what's it called, Thunderbolt, the new Avengers. Come on, bro. This is what I'm talking about.
I will not be joining with some of my conservative friends in wagging my finger at her donors, and I'll explain why.
I personally think there's better things you could donate to. If you're really looking to donate money, I personally think there are better things to donate to. I donate a lot of money in general, personally. However, I do not donate money. I do not donate money to her, and I probably won't. But that's just my opinion. It's your money. You can do whatever you want with your money. God gave you that money to do with it what you will. All right? I'm just saying.
First of all, she does have a legitimate need for the money. The mob is truly trying to get her killed. I don't believe that a woman should have her life threatened for...
No, I do agree that. I do agree with that. That is true. I do completely agree with that. She probably will need to move. She probably does need the money right now.
Saying a word, even a bad one. And you could say freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences for your speech, all you want. But if losing your livelihood and having your house burned down is a consequence of your speech, then you do not have free speech. Supporting free speech means...
It's like saying you have free speech, we're going to put you in jail if we don't like your speech. Like, that's the same idea. It's like, of course you have free speech in England. But if you say something Islamophobic, we will imprison you. You could say it. You just might end up in jail. Hell yeah, freedom of speech. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Supporting someone's ability to speak without having their family murdered for it.
Yeah, true.
Okay, I mean, that should be pretty obvious.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Second, more importantly, and you know, this is the part that I really need everyone to stop and think about. This is the most devastating attack on cancel culture
100%.
that we have seen.
I actually agree with this completely. So when cancel culture comes for like me, for example, because that's happened a couple of times, you know, you get people swarming comments saying he's a racist, he's evil, he makes jokes, you know, stuff like that. When that happens, I'm still here. I still have a community. I think I'm a pretty good guy, all things considered. Don't wanna pat myself on the back, all right, too much or anything. I'm a pretty good guy, and I think my audience knows that. And I actually still have a career. I'm pretty much more successful than ever on YouTube, thank God. And with all that said and done, ironically, and that makes sense. So when I see a YouTuber or whatever with an audience surviving cancel culture, I think that's pretty normal. If you just stay true to your values, you'll get through it, no matter what cancel mob comes for you, unless you're like, you know, a pedophile or some shit. But when it comes to just a random person on a viral pop-off moment, for the most part, when they get canceled, their life becomes detrimentally worse. I've never seen it before that a random person that went viral for one of those let's make them famous moments, trying to cancel them and harass them. I've never seen a net positive happen for that person. And this is the first instance of that I've seen, and that's why I find it so fascinating. Because realistically, this is a turning point in society. People don't like the empathy culture. People don't like, in quotes, people don't like the white guilt. People don't like the double standard. People don't like the cancel culture. And this is pushback on that. And I agree that is a net positive.
Possibly ever. Shiloh Hendrix has, without really trying, effectively ended cancel culture. As Mark Dice said in his video about the incident, Shiloh is the final boss of cancel culture.
The raid boss of cancel
the
culture.
final boss that cancel culture has to fight.
Listen, man, we got the Karens on one side of the force, and we got Karens on the other side of the force. All of society dictated by the Karens. Which Karens will prevail at the end of the day?
And I think that's right. And this is the part that many conservatives seem to be missing. All they see is that this woman said something bad and is now getting rewarded for it. The whole thing is so unsavory that they can't help but recoil. And yeah, it is unsavory. You wish that Shiloh had said or done something that we could affirmatively defend. That would be much easier.
True.
Nobody
Valid.
wants to affirmatively defend cussing out a 5-year-old.
Agreed.
Even though I don't think the kid's actually 5. But
I don't support cussing out a 10-year-old either, in case you care.
none of that is the point. The point is that the only way to put an end to this routine, the routine where the outrage mob mobilizes and assembles to destroy somebody's life, is to disincentivize the routine. And the only way to disincentivize that behavior is to reward the person who's being targeted. Now, we can complain all we want about the mob.
He makes a good point. He makes a good point. Yeah. I don't look at the people donating money to Shiloh's campaign as people donating money to support someone that said the N-word. I look at it as donating money to someone who's being harassed by a gigantic mob of people. That's kinda how I see it.
Mob tactics and how they silence and punish people and exact vengeance in wildly disproportionate ways. We can condemn it. We can write think pieces about it. We can deliver monologues. None of that matters. None of that will stop them. The only thing that can stop them, the only thing that will make them think twice about doing this again, is if they know that instead of getting their target canceled, they might accidentally make them rich. And
Yeah, strike fear in the hearts of the retards. Make retards again. I support that.
more important even than the money, they must know that their
It's not about the money. It's about sending the message.
attempt to isolate and ostracize somebody will fail. That for every person condemning the targeted person, 2 more will rally to their defense.
Damn.
You know, the motto of the cancel
Damn.
mob for a
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. I understand why Twitter is freaking out about this Matt Walsh video. I do. You don't even understand. I've never even really watched Matt Walsh before, but damn, I see why people are really pissed about this. I really do. Oh my God. They're pissed at him because he's spitting. They're pissed at him because he is spitting right now. Holy shit. I wouldn't have gone so far as to say that I hope she raises millions of dollars and everyone should donate to her. And, does he link her GoFundMe in the description? That would be crazy. That would be insane. Okay, no, that would have been wild. But, I get it, bro.
long time has always been make this person famous. And a lot of them were saying that about Shiloh. Let's make her famous. Now, the assumption is that the fame will have an exclusively negative effect
impact,
on the
for sure.
person's life. Making them famous means making them unsafe, making them bankrupt, making them persona non grata. With this case, that assumption has been flipped on its head. Because now the mob knows that making them famous might help them more than hurt them.
Holy
Rather
shit.
than the fame being punished, it's rewarded.
I do think that's a part of it, for sure. I do think that's a part of it. I think cancel culture is growing so much. I think before Trump became president, for example, a lot of people were pushing back on woke shit in video games. And slowly but surely, everything that made culture toxic is going to have a counterculture to destroy it. Who do you like better, Shiloh or the Hawk-Tua girl? Shiloh. Not even close. Hawk-Tua girl ran a crypto scam. From my perspective, in my opinion, allegedly. And in my opinion, scamming people is so much worse than saying words that are offensive.
That's the only way to stop this. The making them famous tactic now has a powerful disincentive attached.
Damn.
Think of it this way. Justine Sacco is widely considered the patient zero of cancel culture. Back in 2013, she was on a flight to Africa when she tweeted jokingly
I heard about
that
this.
she hopes she doesn't get AIDS when she gets to Africa.
True.
And when she landed hours later, you're probably familiar with the story, she discovered that her tweet had gone viral across the country. The mob had made her famous, and she lost her job. She was cast out of polite society. Her life, as she knew it, was over. And our culture, as we knew it, had also been changed irrevocably. Now,
He's right. You cannot let the retards win. You can't let the retards win. I used to very much have the perspective of live and let live, right? If what they're doing is not hurting you, like, who cares? But I changed my mind. You got to stand up for your morals. You got to stand up for your virtues. You have to. Because if you don't, then they will keep pushing further and further and further until they are canceling you for the most benign, obtuse shit of all time.
I wish that somebody had started a crowdfunding campaign for her all the way back in 2013. I wish that while half the internet was trying to wreck her life over a dumb joke, the other half had made her rich.
See, but the thing is, I feel like the counterculture campaigns need to be focused on taking down, rewarding her for society trying to destroy her. As opposed to rewarding her for her action, it needs to be a reward for standing steadfast against society trying to ruin her. I really hope that line in the sand is actually drawn. As it stands right now, obviously, it's a whole mix of shit. It's a race war in the making. The content will be incredible. Endless content. But, yeah, we'll see how this goes.
I wish people had donated $500,000 to her. I wish they donated $1 million. I wish they donated $50 million. And that's not because I think an AIDS joke is worth $50 million. It wasn't that good of a joke. It's not because I think that Justine Sacco is some great hero. It's because that would have destroyed cancel culture in its infancy. The entire incentive structure around this online left-wing version of mob justice would have been broken right at the start.
It would have.
If they made her famous and she profited from the fame rather than being ruined by it, then the make her famous tactic would have died right there, and that would have been the end of it. But it didn't die there. Instead, the mob was emboldened.
Oh shit, here we go! It's on! Race war!
Woo!
Race war! Race war!
Let's go! It's crazy!
Race war!
It's happening! Woo!
It's going down! Shit is going down!
I mean, I do not condone it, but I'm not gonna lie, the content is gonna be crazy, you know what I'm saying?
Mob justice worked out really well for the mob nearly every time for the next decade and a half. Now that's finally changed.
True.
And you don't have to like.
I think it was Karmelo Anthony, to be honest. I really think that was the moment where people realized that enough. I said that when the Karmelo Anthony stabbing happened, when he stabbed the kid, the white guy, and got support with a donation, a fundraiser, made $500,000, and then the judge let him out of prison on bail, when the judge would not have done that for a white guy. When that happened, I said that was the moment the facade of white privilege died. I have said that literally. And I think I'm right, to be honest. I think I am correct. I think that was the turn in the road. I really do. I think this is a clear example of the pushback on that. They're supporting a white person for saying words that got her life destroyed for it. And they supported someone that murdered someone. And I think that contrast is just, it's so blatant and obvious. And the fact that the media obviously cares so much about someone that said the N-word, then cares about that people supported someone that murdered somebody. Like, I think when you see that in context, it is fucked up.
Take Shiloh or agree with her choice of words to see that. Speaking of her choice of words, there is another point that I think has to be made here.
Oh God, we're going down the N-word debate. Is it happening? All right, we have an N-word debate every 2 years. Is it our 2025 N-word debate? Is that happening? Oh shit.
The mob that tried unsuccessfully to cancel Shiloh Hendrix was far more outraged over Shiloh saying the N-word than they were over Karmelo Anthony stabbing somebody to death. Indeed, many of them actively supported Karmelo Anthony.
That's insane. When I see something like that, that is so radicalizing. It really is. Nothing radicalizes you more than people on the other side. Everyone's so afraid of the alt-right pipeline. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna listen to a Trump speech and then I'm gonna start wearing Nazi uniforms, right? People really think that that is the pipeline. Everyone is wrong. Nothing will radicalize you more than the people on the side that you are trying to defend. Literally. The pipeline for being against trans people doesn't start with Donald Trump. It doesn't start with religious zealots. The pipeline against trans people starts with chemical castration of children, sex change operations for children, indoctrination for children, introducing sex into schools for 5-year-olds, taking children to drag shows. That is where the radicalization against trans people starts. Absolutely. The alt-right pipeline starts on the left. And it's crazy. It is insane. It is insane. You see it every single time. The radicalization against black people is, it's not coming from some sort of massive society shift. It is happening when a black kid gets rewarded for stabbing a white kid in the heart. And I feel like that happens every single time.
Murdering Austin Metcalf. They rewarded him financially for it. And this is all part of the preposterous racial double standard that has defined American culture for generations now. It is a double standard that declares it a greater crime for a white person to say a word than for a black person to kill a white person.
And by the way, I don't think most people think that. I think that this is, I'll use a hypothetical. I think 90% of people, all right, I'm making this number up, but I think 90% of people on the left do not support Karmelo Anthony stabbing a white kid in the heart. They don't. Of course not. It's insane. It's ridiculous. But I do think the 10% that are supporting Karmelo Anthony are fucking loud. Those are the motherfuckers with the megaphone. All right? And realistically, social media is decided by the loudest voice.
In fact, killing a white person could even be a just punishment for saying that word, according to these standards. The rules surrounding this word, the moral weight granted to it, the arbitrary guidelines drawn around it, it's all nonsense. It's all indefensible on both moral and intellectual grounds.
God damn.
People are fed up with it.
I think he's right.
That's what you're seeing in this story. People are just fed up with it. Now, that child, if he's like the average black child in this country, did not hear the N-word for the first time from a white woman at the park last week.
God. True. I mean, true. We claimed that word. Yep.
Okay? He's no doubt heard it thousands of times.
Man, my favorite thing is when you say, hey, can white people say the N-word? And then people are like, no, of course not. Can black people say the N-word? Yes, of course they can. So it's like, so you're saying that black people have more rights than white people? And it's like, no, black people are victims, obviously. Oh my God, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. This is fucking crazy.
He likely hears it every day. He probably...
Like, I understand that a word used, like, I'll give you another example, though. A word that's used to convey hate against a race is obviously going to be very different than a used word in intellectual context, for example. Like, it's used in a context of endearment sometimes, and I feel like that is not as vitriolic as using it in a context of belittlement. I think that is, I think that's an important differentiation, though.
Probably hears it in his own home.
True.
Are we supposed to believe that he's heard the word 1,000 times, but it's time 1,001 that really traumatized him?
Yeah, probably not.
I mean, the idea that the word is a common greeting for one race, but unspeakably evil.
You're calling rap intellectual? No, I mean like when it's used in like Huckleberry Finn or in novels or as a quote and stuff like that. Stuff like that is obviously not used in an offensive way. Obviously. And I personally think that offending people in general is not a very nice thing to do. Now, I'm going to call people like Frogan a fat piece of shit, which is offensive, but that's because she has earned that title of being called a fat piece of shit.
If uttered by a different race, is laughably ridiculous. The idea that one race can say the word 10,000 times a day and the other race cannot speak the syllables under any circumstance, even if they're just repeating what someone else said or singing along to a rap song.
Yeah, when it says a quote, or when it says a quote, or when it's an intellectual way, or singing along to a song, and people get really upset about stuff like that. Like that is like that's a Lord Voldemort kind of thing.
That idea again is totally indefensible, which is why no one has ever tried to defend it. Instead, it's just yet another, racial rule of the road that we're supposed to follow without ever asking any questions about it or expecting anyone to explain it or justify it. People are sick of that. It's just that simple. They are sick of it. Now, it is simple. If it's wrong to say the word, then it's wrong for anyone to say it. If black people want white people to not say the word, then they need to not say it.
Damn. I see why Twitter was upset with this one.
If you say
I
it,
do.
everyone else can say it. Point blank. It's that simple.
Oh,
That's how life works.
All right, that's why Twitter
Deal
was
with it.
upset. Yep, I figured it out.
No, you can't do that. You can't say, well, no, we can do this thing, but you can't. Doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. Well, it did work that way for a long time. It was indefensible, and it's just not going to work that way anymore. Sorry. And no matter who is saying
Damn,
it, it's not...
Equality just knocked on the door and wants your phone number. Holy shit. As an advocate of gender equality, we should be able to drop kick women when they're acting like assholes. I firmly stand by equality. Equality. Oh God.
Any worse than any other slur or vulgarity. It's not special. The word is not magical. It's not some kind of mystical curse. It's not some kind of dark incantation that conjures evil spirits from the netherworld. It's just a word. It's a vulgar word. It's a rude word. It's a word that I believe polite people shouldn't say for the same reason they shouldn't use any other vulgarity. I'm using N-word right now instead of saying the actual word for the same reason that I would say F-word or C-word instead of those actual words. Those are vulgar words, but that's all. The reflexive, indefensible...
Well, I mean, I think a lot of it is... insulting people in general is something that I think is not very nice to do. Insulting people or humiliating the people or embarrassing people or thrashing, harassing people, things like that are obviously not nice things to do. When I do it, because I know that people are obviously going to say, but Nux, you make fun of retards all the time. Absolutely, I do, of course. When they put the clown makeup on themselves, of course you have to call them clowns. You have to make retards again. This is the mantra. I fully support making retards again. However, they got to earn that title, right? They got to earn the title of retard before you call them a retard. Absolutely.
Capricious, vacillating racial double standards are over. People are fed up with them. They are fed up with the game and they don't want to play it anymore. And that's all that this word has become. That's all that our quote unquote race relations have become. A game. A game with arbitrary rules and incredibly excessive punishments for anyone who breaks them. It's like the societal equivalent of a child, trying to walk on the sidewalk without stepping on a crack. Eventually the kid gets bored with it, starts walking normally again, because it turns out that if you step on a crack, you're not really going to break your mother's back. The rules are fake. And eventually people get tired of following them. Telling white people, and white people only, that they can't combine two specific syllables under any circumstance, it's like telling them they can't touch their head unless someone says Simon Says. Okay? They're not going to play the game forever.
Yeah, people are really fed up with this whole thing. Like, again, I think partially you don't want to offend people. Partially you don't want to just get involved and embarrass or insult people, because that's just not a nice thing to do. And for whatever reason, the N-word is insulting to a lot of people, and therefore I don't use it. However, comma, there is an important however here. However, you got to recognize that if you're going to be all up in arms about something like this, but you're going to defend stabbing people or stuff like that, your morals are askew and retarded.
White guilt is the fuel that keeps all this going. White guilt is what convinces white people to follow arbitrary rules that make no sense, to tolerate, even defend a system that's rigged against them with blatant double standards. It's what's compelled white people to acquiesce to a culture that says that, every race can and should defend and root for their own, but white people, and white people only, should not be conscious of their race at all.
Yeah, it's so gross and disgusting. No more of the guilt shit. Like, you could stop. You can be proud of who you are, no matter who you are. Like, you could stop. And it's over.
None of
and it's
it
actually
is
ending.
fair or morally coherent.
It's ending.
And the Karmelo Anthony case, where a black teen raked in $500,000 as a reward for stabbing a white kid to death, was, for a lot of people, the final straw.
That's what I said. That is exactly what I said. Absolutely. I think that was the zenith. That was the end. That was when people said, you know what? No more even making believe white privilege is a thing.
The final straw of many, many straws. It is no surprise that the Shiloh Hendrix case comes on the heels of that. A lot of people online are fretting that this is the beginning of some kind of race war. But I don't think it's a race war, and it's certainly not the beginning.
I don't think it's a race war either, to be honest. I really think it's more of a culture war. The current culture of society, is really rough. It's difficult. It really is difficult. It's difficult when society will blast you and attack you and insult and assault you for, you know, all that sort of shit. Now, again, I am not racist at all. Actually, I am very, very much. I'm one of the least racist people of all time. That doesn't mean statistics aren't a real thing. That doesn't mean that you're going to have bad people in every group, because absolutely, obviously you are. And that doesn't mean you're not going to have wonderful, fantastic, incredible people in every group, because you have that too, obviously. But it's just a matter of perspective. It's a matter of perspective. When you say, hey dude, hey guys, hey everybody, saying the N-word is tantamount to murder. That's insane. That's crazy. Ruining someone's life because they said a word which they should not have said, and I have said this entire time. She shouldn't have called the kid the N-word. But stop, bro.
I mean, there's been a war waged on whiteness for a long time in this country. So this cannot be the beginning of anything. But it may be the end of something.
Oh, shit.
The end of racial double standards. The end of cancel culture.
I don't know if it's the end, but it's definitely a pushback for sure.
This is an ugly story in a lot of ways. But if history has shown us anything, it's that ugly things die ugly deaths. If you like.
Yeah, that was wild. I see why people on Twitter are upset about this video, because they don't like hearing facts, unfortunately. I'm not going to say that I condone literally everything you said in this video. You can't twist my words into saying that I 100% agree. I don't 100% agree with anyone. All right, I have my own brain, and I urge you to have your own brain and come to your own conclusions. However, he spat unbelievable amounts of facts here. This might be the actual end of an era. It might be the end of some sort of era where just volatile, despicable, insane amounts of hatred being pushed onto people for doing things that don't warrant that amount of pushback, literally ending people, like ending people's lives for the sake of your societal virtue signal clout farm. And again, looking back at Twitter, the right is officially supporting calling a black child the N-word, tweeting out this video. This is not at all what's happening. This tweet has 6,000 likes so far. It's gonna have a lot more. That's not what the right is doing. The right is fed up with a society that immediately labels everyone white as an automatic oppressor and therefore immediately wrong in every conflict. So I think that this is a epic tale, and I am very excited to see where this goes. This is gonna be epic and awesome, and hopefully not at all gonna be a race war. Definitely subscribe for more controversial content. I had to see what this Matt Walsh video was about. Everyone was losing their mind, and to be honest and to be real, this is insane. It's insane, and it is what's radicalizing people. The biggest radicalizing factor of people is not their pipeline, it's yours. So definitely subscribe, ladies and gentlemen, because we are going to have a wonderful time looking at retards, because there are always going to be more retards to make fun of. That is one thing I know for certain. God has created a plethora of retards for our amusement. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one, gamers. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.